Do you hear that sound? All right, I think we're live. I don't know. All right, I think we're live. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. We're always having technical difficulties. It's like, don't quit your day job, right? Because really. Well, hi. Hope everyone's good. Welcome.
Thank you for joining us.
Sorry for the delay. Can you guys hear? Just give me a thumbs up or a yes, please. Thanks. I appreciate it. All right. Well, really glad you guys are here. This is our first official live, I guess.
Yeah, we did a little test run last week.
Yeah.
So if you watch that, that disaster, thanks for joining us again for the second one.
Bad. It was okay. It was okay. We were hoping today that we could do some live reactions to 3 videos. We called it Sunday Rewind. So it's gonna be older videos. Hope you guys don't mind. And then maybe you guys can give us some ideas for the next live of what you guys want us to react to or what you want to do next time we're live. That'd be cool. So we're gonna get started with our first video. We're gonna react to my lap band journey video that was from February 5th, 2015. So quite a while. If you guys have questions or comments, go ahead and put them in the chat. Okay. All right, hopefully you guys can see our video.
So today I'm doing a video that's a bit overdue. A lot of people have asked me about my lap band experience and about my weight loss journey. I made a video about my lap band journey a really long time ago, and I know that the video is really old at this point, so I kind of wanted to do an updated version and give you more details. So for most of you who don't know this about me, I have talked about it on my channel before though. I have been on a weight loss journey. My weight loss journey honestly is kind of over, to be honest, because I'm comfortable and happy where I'm at now. And boy, it feels really good to say that I'm finally comfortable and happy with the weight and size that I am. I know I'm not everyone's standard of healthy. I am a size 14. I definitely don't weigh under 200 pounds. I'll be honest about that. I've always been heavier. I've just always been heavier. And this video is about to get real, so pardon me. But I have always just been on the heavier side, and it's just a thing. And I don't know. I'm finally coming to terms with it overall, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, let me get back on track. Back when I was going through
Okay, so sorry. Okay, sorry about if you have a tab open with your YouTube side of the stream, it causes echoes. Oh, yes, that is what's causing the echo. I'm so sorry, guys. I promise we're going to get better. We're just not. Anyways, what we were going to say, well, what I was going to say is that this video that she posted 2015, a very long time ago, I don't know about you guys, but even her sound of her voice just sounds so different. Like if I were just to hear her voice like in the background.
I don't think it was her.
I wouldn't have known that it sounded like her or it was her. So that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, her whole face, it just looks so different. So like innocent and so fresh.
Yeah.
Compared to how she looks now.
And it makes me think like, okay, this was like say 7 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago. Like if I found a picture of myself from 7 years ago, like I don't think they're that blatantly different where it's like, whoa, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like I look pretty much the same. So it's pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
through a really hard time when I was younger. There are stages of my life that I really actually don't really remember because I choose to block them out. I went through a lot of dark times where I found that food was my out and food was my comfort. Like everybody has that one thing that makes them comfortable. And I know a lot of people who binge eat just for pure comfort, and it gets them through the hard times. You know, I was one of those people. I was one of those kids. So I remember to this day when I was a kid, always trying to like sneak snacks or whatever. I think one of the peaks of it was when I had, how old was I? I think I had just turned 16 and I had just gotten my license. And once I got my license, like that opened doors for me to be able to eat like whatever I wanted. And I didn't have any self-control at the time. I think one of the things that happens when we suffer from food disorders, I think a lot of us have to deal with the fact that it's the only thing in our life that we feel like we can control. So I have made stories on my binge eating disorder before, though. I'll find them and link it below. But this is about my lap band journey, so let me stay on track here. So at that point, I was almost 300 pounds, and I was completely unaware of that. I was living life very blindly.
Okay. Sorry to Tonya. Is it Tonya Posey?
Tonya?
I'm not sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. But the slime is horrible. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
And apology again, you know, just doing the best we can here. But anyways, you're welcome to leave if it's like, you know, super annoying. Like I'm not trying to force anyone to be here. But yeah, so she basically did say, like, to comment off what Alyssa was saying, that her weight loss journey was basically over, that she was satisfied where she was at. I mean, most of us know that if you struggle with your weight, it's really a lifelong journey. Like there's no real end where you're like, oh, I'm at a perfect weight. I don't ever have to worry about my weight again.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just feel like, you know, she's so innocent and almost naive, you know, thinking that, you know, she's good and she doesn't have to worry about it anymore. Let's read some of the comments. She sounded so innocent back then, from Rudy. Couldn't agree more. And if I mispronounce your name, apologies. From Dee, Alex has thrown up her hands at her continued weight loss. She's cool being how she is and plateaued, as long as she can keep it moving and get pregnant. Yeah, agreed. She is so thin here.
Must have been horrible to weigh 300 pounds as a teenager, though. I mean, there's already so many insecurities as a young adult, but weighing that much.
Yeah, that's and she said she's 5'7". I mean, it's kind of, we're not really sure how tall she is because she changes it sometimes. So yeah. I think she's about 5'7". So 5'7", 300 pounds. To me, that's probably a size 24, 26 at least.
At least, yeah.
Yeah, all opinions are welcome. Always, like, I'm not here. This is not a hate channel, you know. This is just kind of like our opinions, and it's just for fun. So please don't take it too serious. Next. I'm rooting for her, but it must suck to see the difference between then and now. Honestly, I feel like it's almost haunting in a way, because if that was me and I was watching videos from 7 years ago and I'm just like, wow, like I am so different from where I am. But again, you know, she's always saying she's size 18, which I always laugh at, because I'm sure here she's probably a size 18. Even if she was a size 16 or even a 14, like she still looks a lot different. Yeah. Even if she's one or two sizes different, in my opinion.
I'm just curious what she thinks. Like, you know, when I see pictures of myself a couple years ago and I look different, but I don't see them unless for some reason, like my Facebook reminds me or whatever about those pictures, then I see them. But for her, that she's constantly on YouTube, and I'm sure she keeps seeing her old videos come up of how she looked and maybe how she used to think, where her mentality was in that time period. I'm just like curious how that makes her feel.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like she probably would avoid it because, you know, she doesn't
want to deal with it.
Yeah. She doesn't like feeling those ways. A bit naive. Yeah, I agree. Yes. Gabriella, yes, this was from 2015. And yeah, her weight gain publicly has been honestly one of the reasons why I probably would not just make a channel, like be an influencer. Like being an influencer to me is just like, I've seen how it changes people just from like the people that I watch, and it's really sad. It's almost like it takes over their life. They have really low self-esteem, and most of the time they're very narcissistic by just wanting all this attention because of their low self-esteem. And it just, I don't know, it's sad. Like it changes
them, but not in a good way.
Yeah. And they get recognized, and sometimes they get recognized, but it's I don't know. It's just not the real world to me. It's like to me, it's not really like I don't want to say a real job, because that's not what I mean, but it's not something that typical people know anything about. Like I don't understand that type of lifestyle. It's just it goes right over my head. From this video, and Alan, she gained most of it back. Yeah, that's what she was saying. All right, let's play it.
I thought that I was just whatever. I didn't really think about it. I was very blind to it. I didn't like the scale. I didn't go on the scale. I was just living my life and blocking out a lot of bad feelings with food. And I know that was unhealthy of me. So a lot of people might judge me for this, but feeling like you're out of control leads to making decisions that you feel like will help. I never suffered from any other eating disorders besides binge, but I knew that I had a problem with portion control and like not feeling full, because my stomach had already been expanding because I was eating so much at the time. So my mom and I, one day, she kind of just had to have that talk with me, and she sat me down and said, I need you to step on the scale right now. And I was just like, I don't want to step on the scale. And she made me step on the scale, and that number pierced my heart. I didn't really realize that was where I was at the time. I was, like I said, totally blind to it. So my mom and I talked, and the funny thing is I'd always been trying to lose weight, but food was always my problem. The gym was never my problem. It was always food at the time. I was going to the gym with my grandma. Actually, we had like a gym routine. It was really cute. We'd go to the gym like 3 or 4 times a week. I was burning like 600, 700 calories every time I went, but I was eating way too much. And I always had that problem with food. Food was always my problem.
All right. What I also think that's crazy is she's saying that she used to work out all these times, like 3 or 4 times a week, or 4 or 5 times a week.
Yeah, with her grandma.
With her grandmother. I mean, I want to believe her. I want to believe that she works out 3 or 4 or 5 times a week, because obviously, why wouldn't you want to believe someone that's telling you that? But I really feel like, that she was probably never really honest to begin with, unless she just progressively became lazier, where she starts something and never follows through. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys believe that she was working out at the gym, let's say minimum 3 times a week?
But I think that when you're dieting or trying to lose weight, I feel like working out is somewhat easier than eating, because with eating, your mindset has to change with food. Like you have to think about it as food for fuel, not food for comfort. And for somebody who has an eating disorder, like it's already hard for someone who doesn't, but with someone who does, that just gets intensified. And if you don't fix that, then it makes it even harder to you have to, it's kind of like the problem that she's having now. She hasn't dealt with her eating disorder, I don't think, in a healthy way.
Yeah. Sorry, we should have gave a trigger warning. So if you're sensitive to things about weight loss or food addictions or any kind of things like that, just beware, okay? Because we are going to be talking about that stuff. I do think that I don't think Alex has ever dealt with issues like that completely to the point where she doesn't deal with it anymore. I know there's times where she says that she doesn't binge eat anymore. But I mean, when you gain that much weight in that short amount of time, it's almost impossible. Like how does that happen? Like, I get it, you don't exercise, but I mean, maybe you're not binging, but you are eating a lot of calories in order to gain that much weight. I think it's, how many calories are in a pound? Is it 3,500 calories in a pound?
Approximately, I think, something like that.
So if you're eating 3,500 calories a day without burning anything, then right away you're going to be gaining at least a pound a day. So that's a lot. Some of the comments. Oh, there was a question that says if she's ever shared her weight. I think in this video was the only time she actually said she was over 300 pounds at one point. I don't remember her ever sharing the starting or ending weight. She only will share like how much weight she's lost.
I think at the beginning, like the first ever kind of videos, she had, I think they were weekly weigh-ins or something like that, where she would actually, if I'm not mistaken, she would film her weight.
Yeah, I even remember she would get on the scale, right? And she would show the scale. She'd also showed the tags of her clothes and things like that when she was very transparent about her weight. Maybe she was just more confident back then. Maybe the internet scared her to the point where she's like, I'm not going to show anything because she didn't want to be judged for it, which is understandable. I think the problem is, for me specifically, is not that you're not doing it, but that you're lying about it or making up stuff, or not just saying like, hey, you know what, this makes me insecure, so I'm not going to talk about it. But she always says that she's not going to talk about it, but then she does talk about it. So it's just a very weird and odd, thing that she does when it comes to her journey of weight loss. When she says again that, this channel isn't about weight loss. The channel isn't about her body, but I mean, you can go through even her most recent videos and it always has been. And she tries to get away from it, but then I think she has a problem figuring out what her channel's supposed to be about.
Purpose, yeah.
Yeah, like it cannot be just based about, I'm just going to go to Target and she doesn't even go into Target anymore. She just sits in the car and waits for someone to bring her stuff. Yeah. It's like, I'm going to do a pickup order, or I got my groceries delivered. Let me show you what I got. And it's like, really, like, I don't know, like, who's watching those videos? Is that riveting content for anyone? Is that, maybe it's just like someone has it on, while they're like, what I do.
Background noise.
It's like background noise, right? Because it's not anything, but it's the same thing all the time. Like, I don't know. I just feel like it's a little much. All right, so let's continue.
It was. So I decided to look into lap band surgery. I felt like it was a good option. My grandma on my father's side, she had actually had gastric bypass, and so had my aunt on that side, I believe, and they had really good luck with it, but I didn't like the idea of removing a part of my body permanently. So I looked into lap band, and I saw that most places in the US didn't do it unless you were 18, and I was only 16 at the time. So my mom and I looked out at further resources, and we found this doctor in Mexico. Don't get scared when I say that, by the way, guys. It's not like I'm going into like an alley or something and getting surgery. People can be very judgmental when they hear the word Mexico. I don't know why, because I went to a really amazing doctor and my experience was great. So this is what happened. We went to Mexico and we went to, I think it was Dr. Ortiz. I think you can look him up if you want to. He's like totally world renowned. He'd been on, I think it was Oprah or Dr. Phil, talking about helping younger kids losing weight because I think they did it on 16 and up instead of 18 and up. And I know that I needed help, and I felt that desperate. So it worked out fine. No need to judge me on that one. And it was less expensive than it was here at the time. So we went there. Yeah, we did it. As crazy as it sounds, I've had a very strange life. I've had some really weird experiences. I might write a book at some point. I've taken some weird paths, you could say. I'm always outside the box. But anyway, so we went to Mexico and I had the surgery done. It was like a 5-day trip. Got there the first day, pre-op, second day operation, and then 3 days of rest. And then we came home and I was bed rested at home for a few months, not a few months, maybe 6 weeks, maybe more. It was a long time ago, like solid 6 years ago. And I was already starting to lose weight because I was on a liquid diet at the time. I was drinking Gatorade, keeping my what is that word? Electrolytes up. Then I worked my way to chicken broth. Then I worked my way to dairy. And then I eventually worked my way back to eating. So if you don't know what lap band is, first and foremost, it is a little tube that goes at the top, like a little band that goes around the top of your stomach, and it creates a smaller stomach pouch. So this is your stomach down here. And then this is like the top of your stomach. So they put the little tube here. So this is your stomach down here. But with this tube up here, it creates a small pouch that acts as your new stomach. And it makes you full very quickly, which is pretty great if you feel like it takes you a long time to get full, or if you have a hard time controlling yourself with your portions. And yeah, it works. It does work. But the problem was with this, that we were not educated enough. I will admit that. Make sure you're very educated before you go through with any of these kinds of surgeries.
All right. What did you guys think of that part so far? So she's basically saying she went to Mexico to get the surgery, that her life is so crazy that she could write a book, which I think is kind of funny because she's so young here. So I think she had the lap band when she was 16, right?
Yeah.
So here she's probably 17 or 18.
Something like that.
Like she's super young because now she's almost 30.
Mm-hmm.
So let's do the math. So she's older than that. Is she 21, 22? I don't know. Someone who likes math, do the math for us. But she's pretty young and she's talking about going to Mexico and getting the surgery and wanting to write a book. And I don't know. I just I know that there's probably like some family history that, is the reason why she is the way she is. I mean, everyone has history.
Well, she's also mentioned, I think, in earlier, more recent videos that she had to deal with fat shaming in her family.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, I'm sure that contributed to that.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, that's hurtful if it's someone.
Yeah, someone in your family says that to you. Yeah.
But also the fact that she's having this surgery in Mexico, which there's nothing wrong with having surgery in Mexico, but I'm just saying like she was willing to go that far to lose weight at such a young age. To me, it's a little scary only because have you tried everything to lose weight at that point? Going right to surgery so young just seems to me like not the answer. Like I get it if maybe you're struggling with it for a long period of time, but when you're still a teenager, still developing and things like that, I don't know. It's just, it's rough. Let's see. Brina. Hi, Brina. Lap band was an overall terrible choice. I don't know. Has anyone in here had lap band before? I haven't. Just wondering how your experience was with that. Her nasty attitude and comments like, seek therapy and get blocked, boo. Do you like my impression? Really opened my eyes to her true personality. I get everyone presents themselves a certain way online, but her mask has slipped. I agree. I think she is not as nice as she wants. Like as
she really is.
Like her videos when they're sponsored, like her voice just sounds different. I don't know. It's just weird. But yeah, she definitely, if she did a live like this, I mean, I think people can tell my personality based on this live because this is just me. But I think if she did a live, which she does go on live sometimes, and she acts very, what's the word? Like cocky almost. Like she tries to portray herself as she's
not bothered by it. Like,
oh yeah,
she's so comfortable and confident in who she is and what she's about.
But then she does all these like nervous things. Like she'll be like drinking water or like a smoothie or like finicking and like, I don't know. It just seems that she isn't as comfortable as she seems. And, and that someone else said a point about her not going to pick up or go into stores because she's afraid of being seen. And I've never thought about that. But I mean, if anyone
she
took a picture of her like with their camera phone or their phone, you know, on their camera, I'm sure she would not like that posted online.
Yeah.
Because if she is using filters, which is another thing, and you know, photoshopping, which she says she doesn't do, but does she do other things to alter her photos? Maybe it's not photoshopping, maybe it's something else, but I don't 100% believe her photos are untouched.
Yeah.
I mean, I just feel like I was looking at her, even her Depop pictures, and I'm like, even these photos look edited. Like, how did you get a jawline? Like, how did you get, you know, a cinched waist? It just feels like if you're that insecure where you can't even post a picture on Depop without
filtering or
editing it, then it's like, okay, then for sure when you post it on Instagram or you're on
anywhere,
you're
public's eye.
Yeah, and then again, she does look so different in her vlogs. I'm like, okay, you look like you gained like 50 pounds. Like, how is that possible? So I miss Michelle. Michelle said she's the only YouTuber I know of that watches themselves in the viewfinder. She really likes stopping and staring at herself. It's awkward to watch. You can see it a lot in this lap band video
with the hair.
Yeah, the hair flip. Around. It's very like, look at me. It's almost like, I think I was telling you this earlier, but it's almost like an insecurity that you're like checking up on yourself
to make sure that you look good.
Yeah, like I feel like it reminds me of like when you're going to go on a date, right? And like you see a reflection somewhere and you quickly like glance at yourself to make sure like your hair is in place, you don't have food in your teeth. It's like kind of like that kind of feeling when you're like so nervous to go on a date. Like, I don't know. That's what it makes me think of.
I wonder the same thing if she goes back and check her earlier videos and see how she's changed.
I mean, that's honestly depressing. Like, do not recommend. Thanks, Alyssa. So, yeah, if you could like, that would be cool. If you don't want to, it's okay. I never know what the real truth is because her story was always changing. That's true.
She didn't do much research. She did actually talk about this on one of her videos about not doing enough research.
She said, I think on here
was it this one too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
She wasn't educated enough to knowing that she had to go back and keep up with the procedure.
All right. Nancy took her teenager to Mexico to get lap band with no American surgeon would have done it at her age. Yeah, honestly, I feel like they probably did go to Mexico because one, it's cheaper, and two,
she did mention that they didn't do lap band here. I think she said 18. 18. Mexico does it till 16.
So that makes it, and again, if you don't want to be in the live, you're welcome to leave. That's no problem. Let's see. It would be traumatic for anyone to go have that go on in her family. Yes, sorry, I can read, I promise. She's rude and vulgar on her lives. Yeah, true. I mean, I think on the last one, was she flipping somebody off saying the haters? The surgery wasn't well thought out. No, she's very one of those people that kind of does stuff, you know, as an instinct, like hurry up and.
Yeah, if she wants something, she's going to do it in that moment.
Even though she never thought about the aftermath, like the upkeep of the surgery. Does anyone also watch Cherry's channel? She's amazing and points out the inconsistencies, especially when it comes to Alex over the years. I haven't watched her recently. I actually did. I've watched her before.
Yeah, we watched her.
And then I think she left for a little bit and then she came back. And I think I caught her one time. But yeah, if you are not subscribed to Cherry's channel, please do. Okay, never been about Alex's weight or her size for me, more about her poor attitude, behavior, and inconsistencies. Yeah, I agree. I think the whole point of us talking about this is the fact that she's always promoting this. She's so confident, do what I do. I love myself.
It's kind of like a fantasy persona of who she wants to be or thinks
She
is, but she's not. And I think that's when we started talking about her and we created our first video, our message to her. And it was never about her weight. It was never about like anything except her attitude and what she was promoting.
Yeah, because people do watch her and people are influenced, whether, you know, they're in their 30s, whether they're teenagers. And it does make people feel bad when they're talking about, you know, when she's saying, I'm a size 18, and then she's obviously not. And people look at themselves causing body dysmorphia and things like that. Like there's like a lot of reasons why she shouldn't be promoting that she loves her body as it is, because we see her doing things that show clearly she doesn't.
Yeah. And also that's why her learning to be fearless channel, I think grew, because she wasn't portraying any of those things until she started probably getting hate about it, and she wasn't getting the results she wanted. Things in her life were just spiraling. Yeah,
definitely. And then Betty said, but when she did her chin surgery, she said she did research and the fat would never come back. And here we are. Yeah. She did say that she thought it wouldn't return. I think in a video that maybe was from like a year ago or so, she did finally admit, like, look, I did chin lipo and they told me it wouldn't come back, and it did. And I wonder if they told her the same thing about her lower stomach, because when she had that removed, maybe she was under the impression, or hopefully she learned her lesson, that, you know, just because you remove it doesn't mean it's never going to come back.
Yeah.
And it could come back. And also your weight distribution might change overall.
Okay.
Not saying I like totally recommend it. I'll get to that later. But what my mom and I hadn't known at the time is that you needed to get your lap band refilled continuously for it to work properly. And we had not known that the closest fill center to get my lap band filled with the liquid to keep it working was in New Jersey, and I'm in Massachusetts, so it's a 6-hour drive. So that was our own fault. I don't know how we missed that. I felt like we researched a ton on the surgery before. Somehow that wasn't part of it. But the fill center was affiliated with the surgeon that we'd gone to. So the fills were coordinated together with my surgeon. So that was nice. The doctor was extremely professional. I had a great experience there. In no way bashing anything about my surgery that happened there in my specific experience. I had a great experience. I met awesome people in that trip. It was a beautiful facility. They put us in an amazing hotel. The whole thing was absolutely splendid. It was a great trip. It wasn't bad at all. It was gorgeous. So then we got home, bed rest. I worked my way back to food. So as I started eating, I was losing weight. I think I lost 30 pounds in the first few months, something like that. And I think it had continued to go steadily, but as my lap band was shrinking, and the liquid wasn't filled, so it wasn't working properly, I was beginning to develop really a lot of issues with eating, and a lot of my food was getting stuck, going through the band, and I was throwing up quite constantly. I remember the first day I threw up, it was awful. All of a sudden, I couldn't get my food to go down, and there were certain foods you can't eat that you are limited to. You can't eat white bread. You can't have anything too doughy or sticky, or it will have problems going down. And I can't describe to you this feeling. If you have lap band and you know what it's like to vomit up your food when it won't fit through, I cannot describe to you what kind of feeling that is. I get chills thinking about it because I don't have it anymore, but to think about it, it's weird. It's you just all of a sudden you feel this feeling like your food it's just stuck in there, and you can just heave it up. I don't know. I'm sorry, way too much information. But yeah, if you have lap band, you know how that feels. So as time was developing, I was losing weight, but not almost in the most healthy way. I was throwing up a lot of my food. My mom and I had gone down to get a couple fills. It wasn't super easy to get down to New Jersey all the time to have it filled, so that was kind of a struggle. But we did go a few times, and once it was filled, it was working properly. But as time went on, I think I had it for a few years. I was losing more weight, and it was becoming much too tedious to keep going to New Jersey, and I was still throwing up my food all the time. It was just a very rough experience. So I started to look into surgeons in my area that would remove it for me. And I got really, really lucky and found a surgeon at a hospital right near my house. And he was such a blessing. He was so nice. My insurance covered it. He looked into it for me, and he was like checking on my CCs of my lap band. And since I was having such trouble eating, oh my God, I was miserable. Like I couldn't eat barely anything without it getting caught and having to throw it up. But that's just because I wasn't getting fills properly, and it was a challenge. But at that time, I'd felt like I had been ready to do it on my own, and like I felt like I had learned portion control at that time, because after you have the lap band for a while, I almost feel like it not conditions you per se, but I feel like it really helps you mentally get to the right frame of mind where you can live a healthy life and have the proper portions for yourself. So I was ready. I was ready to get it removed. So he had taken the liquid out for me until the surgery date. Thankfully, he was available to do that for me. And I had my surgery date and I got it removed, and I was super relieved. I was so relieved. It was just a relief. I could eat again. I was like feeling good and healthy and confident. And once I got my lap band removed, I can honestly say I didn't gain any weight back. I continued to lose on my own, which is an amazing feeling, because the lap band helped me gain more knowledge on food and portion control and health. And over time, I just continued to evolve, and I lost more weight on my own without the lap band. So, I think the lap band is a very complex surgery. I hope I explained it the best I could about like the tube and everything and the little band that goes in your stomach. If you want more details, obviously just Google it and you'll see some more. But as for recommending it for myself, it helped me in so many ways. There's no way I could ever say that I would take that back, because only God knows where I would be if I hadn't done it. And even before that, I didn't even say this before, but like I had tried other methods. I was on Jenny Craig. I think I lost like 50 pounds. And once I got off of it, I gained it all back. It just didn't work for me. I tried numerous methods on my own. It just didn't work. So lap band really did change my life for the few years that I had it. Regardless of how miserable I had been at some points of having it, it definitely changed my life. I'm happy now. I went from size 20 to a 14. I'm happy being plus size, being curvy. I'm happy with my body now. I'm happy with the way that I eat and have control now. I don't suffer from binge eating disorder anymore, but binge is a whole nother thing. I will link that video down below if you're looking for like tips and causes and everything like that, because that's a completely different issue. And I'm not saying you can just go and cure your binge eating disorder with a surgery, a weight loss surgery. So don't do that, because it absolutely stems from other issues as well. I think that physical health a lot of the time can be affiliated with mental health. And if you're going through a lot of things, I will definitely say that it can affect you physically. And, you might be trying to self-cure and comfort yourself with food. So definitely, if you feel that way, look into binge eating disorder.
Wow.
That was a lot.
That was a lot to digest. I really feel like she is being so genuine, in my opinion. She's talking about things that she would never talk about now.
Yeah.
Never. And I feel like that depth is what attracted me to her. Why I was like, oh, I want to subscribe to her. I want to watch her videos. I mean, I remember watching this video when she posted it. I feel like maybe this was a video that made me start watching her videos. So it's just, crazy that she's talking about her mental health and how important it is. And even here, her demeanor is different. Like she seems more together, like more, I don't want to say stable, because I'm not trying to diagnose her, but she just seems just more confident in what she's saying and
more self-aware. I think.
That's a good one. Yeah, more self-aware. Like she understands that she was going through X, Y, and Z. The only part that I feel like she's like, ugh, is that she's like, yeah, I don't struggle with binge anymore. But it's like, I feel like, you always do. Like if anyone has an addiction to anything, it's a lifelong addiction. Like even if you're not doing that thing in the moment, doesn't mean that it's never going to be a struggle. It always is going to be a struggle. And
it's something that she's still struggling with now.
So it says it's clear she never understood the basics of healthy eating or just eating normally. Yeah. And I feel like as a child, I kind of knew a little bit about nutrition, but a lot of it came from me researching. Once I was gaining weight, she says the heaviest she was a size 20 in this video specifically. I think the heaviest I was a size 22, pushing to a 24. And at that point, I was like, I have to do something. And I did all those things too. The Weight Watchers, she mentioned Jenny Craig. I didn't do that, but I did do Weight Watchers a bunch of times. And it's not one of those things where you're like, I'm cured. Like, I don't have a weight problem anymore. It's something is just, you always have to work on. Unfortunately, it's just not, it's not that easy. It can't be easy to have to adapt when your coping mechanism is stripped. Yeah. People replace, their addictions with other things. So that might be shopping, or that might be doing.
Which we kind of do see that with her. And I wonder if she's like started shopping more now since she has to control her eating after the bypass surgery.
Yeah. What I don't know about bypass, which is my own ignorance, is understanding that, can you push yourself to overeat still? Like, can you without, won't you get sick? Is it worth getting sick for? Like, I don't know.
I'd love to hear, or we'd love to hear if you've ever had it. Like, what was your experience? What are you not allowed to have, kind of?
And can you reverse your surgery, and how? And is it a process, I guess? I think she lied so much that she can't even distinguish between the lies and the truth anymore. I feel like, I feel like I hear her lie all the time, and I'm just like, oh, she's doing what she always does.
It's just Alexandra.
Her message now is, everything is great. Everything is perfect. I don't have a binge eating problem. It's the critics on YouTube. That's the problem. Yeah, it's her haters. She probably thinks I'm a hater, and that's okay. I'm not here to hate. I hope this is just an example to other women that, we're all flawed humans, and don't believe everything you hear or see, because, a lot of the times they're not true. And to not let it affect your self-worth, who you are as a person, how you value yourself. You're not defined by your weight. Definitely not. Like, not only does she have a bad relationship, mental health with food, but she's ignorant eating nutritiously. Yeah. What I was saying earlier is, like, I had to teach myself how to eat nutritiously. Yeah. Like, I didn't understand. I was never taught, like, I was always told, like, don't eat too many sweets, or don't eat too many.
Limit this or limit that.
But I didn't understand, like,
why.
Like, everything in my house, like, I read every label. I still do things that are probably not healthy, but, like, as far as eating wise, but I don't know. I just feel like you really have to get into the mindset that whatever you're putting in your body should be the best for you, because you only have one body, and you don't want to abuse it.
And I think what I would love for Alex is to hire, like, a nutritionist, someone that can work with her eating disorder while teaching her about nutrition and getting her to overcome those. We know she doesn't really like eating fruits and vegetables and things like that. So getting her to overcome that and eat as healthy as possible for herself.
Yeah, so she can live a long, healthy life, because we all want that. And we all know that, the body positive movement is so touchy in so many ways. But when it specifically talks about weight, the part that is a little, I don't know. I understand that everyone should love themselves at any weight. I completely agree with that. I just feel like it's a little hard to say that no matter what weight you're at, your size is not going to affect your health. Because I think when it comes down to it, and I think it's common knowledge that the way you treat your body will come back and bite you in the, like, you will have issues. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not next week, maybe in 5 years, 10 years, or when you're older, you might have issues, and we want to avoid those things, and we want to treat our bodies well, because, again, you only have one body. Sorry to be all preachy. I cannot help it.
It's a hot topic.
I know. What kinds of meals did Nancy feed her since childhood. I wish she would have talked about that. I feel like
It wasn't good. I don't think so.
I don't think she cooked much, honestly, because
Yeah.
Alex, like maybe within the past 2 years or so, she said that she just started cooking.
Oh yeah.
So I feel like, okay, so maybe I learned to cook from my mom because I would always watch her in the kitchen and I would help her. So I don't know, maybe not. That's just a assumption that may be based on zero truth. Let's see, 2 things. 1, gastric bypass is permanent. Okay, good to know. Cannot be reversed. You are removing part of your stomach. Ooh, yeah, that is true. That is, it cannot be reversed. I was asking about that earlier. She has access to a nutritionist as part of the weight loss surgery team. And she said they were okay with the stuff she eats. Oh, yeah. When she had that buffalo chicken puree. Oh, my God. I wanted to die. Yeah. And then the thing that's also troubling is the fact that she has the means to get the help. Like if she wanted to hire a chef, I'm sure she could.
Yeah.
If she wanted to hire a nutritionist, or she wanted to hire someone just to, I think she did at one point have a personal trainer, and I think she went to like 1 or 2 sessions and was done.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And I mean, if she had to keep going from that point on, I mean, who knows where she would be at now, but yeah.
The HelloFresh.
But the HelloFresh meals look like fast food, really, most of them. She doesn't even choose the healthy meals. Yeah, so on HelloFresh, I don't know if any of you, we are not sponsored, in case you need us to say that. We really aren't. I mean, come on. But anyways, HelloFresh, you can choose the type of meals you want. Like if you don't like
based
certain
on
things.
on your diet
preferences. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You can say like, oh, I'm vegetarian, or I don't like, whatever, carrots, and whatever, you can kind of like, what's the word? Like curate the meal to make it your own.
Customize.
Yeah. So I know when she does have vegetables, she does cut them extremely small and talk about how she can't really taste them if they're that small. Yeah. Being pregnant, I mean, all those rules go out the door. You eat because you're trying to grow a human. So that's a whole different story. HelloFresh has a lot of sauces, and they're not low-calorie meals. Yeah, I feel like at the beginning, HelloFresh did start really healthy.
Yeah.
And now when I see the meals, when people have sponsored videos, I'm like, oh, like that seems like a lot of sodium, or they have a lot of sauces.
Processed.
Mm-hmm. It's more processed than it was at the beginning. I think just because obviously it tastes better. Oh, yeah. Foodie Beauty and Amberlyn Reed.
Yeah.
I mean, she's recommending it for Nadine,
somebody else.
So yeah. But anyways, I have seen Foodie Beauty and Amberlyn Reed's videos, but I mean, I don't watch them religiously.
Yeah, Foodie Beauty.
I
watched her I watched both of them for a minute. You
told me about her at first.
Yeah, and I was like, you need to watch Foodie Beauty, but I don't know. She's a character. I'll just say that.
Let's see. Alex spent a lot of time with grandma. I feel like Alex was quite difficult, and grandma and grandpa gave her whatever she wanted. Yeah, I wonder where mom was at this point, because she does mention she goes to the gym a lot with her grandmother, unless maybe they live together. Who knows? Like, just wondering.
Okay.
And getting help for it, because it's absolutely treatable. I've been there. I know my story is a little bit blurry, but hopefully I explained it to my best advantage. I know a lot of people were more curious about my story. Yeah, I love you so much, and remember, you're beautiful. The size in your pants does not define you. Like, you don't have to be a size 2 to be happy and healthy. As long as you feel you're healthy up here and like in your soul, and just do you, and every day you will continue to evolve and make it to wherever you're trying to get. Anyway, I love you guys. Bye. Hey guys, welcome.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that was the end of the lap band surgery video. We had another video to show, but again, we didn't know that we were going to talk
so much.
Honestly, when we edit our videos, they're really long, but I edit them down because no one wants to sit through like an hour video. It's just blabbering. So anyways, we are going to go because we're going to save these videos and just think about the fact that we talk too much and we shouldn't show multiple videos at once. But please let us know before you leave. Just give us like a thumbs up. Let us know what you did like about the live, what you didn't like. Obviously, there was technical difficulties. I apologize again. Things that we could do better, things you want to see, things you want to talk about. We are open to talk about lots of different topics. So please put it down in the chat. And thank you all for joining us.
Thank you all. It was fun.
I know, it was so much fun. I love
disaster at the beginning.
We both look forward to, talking to you guys, and we read your comments and we really appreciate all of you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, and even though if some of you are sneaking in at work listening to us live, we shout out to you.